What's good people? Take a second to hit the like button. Take a second to hit the like button. Even if you don't like it, you like the Midnight Family, you like the show, or you watching from the sidelines, you watching from the bushes, doesn't matter how you're watching it. Take a second to hit that like button. It does help out. It helps get the show out there where we needed to get to the right people. A nice informative show like this one. So here we go. What up? Ridiculous the Post God. What's good? Denzel, Jana, Jason, what's good? David in the house. Cashmere in the building. Corey Carson in the building representing the Cardinal Bird. And lovely lady Lauren keeping these YouTube streets safe. Rumors of the Ville in the building. Hold on. Let me catch up. Jared in the building. What's good? Let's fight. Some people just here for the smoke. efforts. Oh, there's too many mistakes. KP put him in a good situation to win. Got to respect the ball. Youngins. Let me catch up before I dive right into it. Didi says we made it. Hopefully by tomorrow evening, we'll be looking for a new coach, says Mark O'Neill. Supporting from Brom and Walls was priceless. What's good? I'm just here to hit the like button. I'm Team Crumb all day. Love KB and all the Crumbs boys. Charles McGee in the building. Charles, were you trying to get into the Twitter smoke? Tim Hudson, what's good? Paul Thomas representing the Cardinal Bird. Walter L in the house. Let's hear the mind-blowing presser. SMH, and I like the guy. Let the search begin from Paul Thomas. Scott drew me. L1C4, Kenny's gone. He damaged careers of those players so bad he should be ashamed of himself. Let me catch up. Hold on. We got good conversation coming up. We got good conversation. Hold on. I hate this divide. We are U of L. I 100% agree with that. Your girl is home from the hospital. It's going to be a long road. Keep praying for your healing. Good to hear. That's good news for Alicia. Glad to have you out the hospital. I know people excited for a new coach. I feel bummed. Yeah, we're going to address that. We're going to address all the feelings. We're going to address them all. See, hold on. Let me catch up. All right, we're not in here to be nasty. Critique, but don't get nasty. Because Lauren don't play. I'll take your boy from Gonzaga too. Just saying hello. Fair enough. I feel you, Johnson. I do feel you. Listen, I do this for a living, okay? So I got to deal with people wanting to cuss every single day of the week. Pretty much every single day of the week, yeah. Somebody's cussing at me every single day. Before we start, the disclaimer is you are right in how you feel. You are wrong in how you feel. And the truth is somewhere in between. The right answer on how you should feel is somewhere in between. You are right when you say you should have did this different and that different. You are right to say should have said this different, said that different. But again, everything that's right and wrong is right. Is right in between. Well, it's over, says Gary Crump. Ooh, Jared, did you listen to the scout? Jared, did you listen to the scout? If you listen, I hope somebody took the chance outside of Jared, took the chance to go listen to my game scout. I hope you listen to how the game was going to play out. I told you exactly what was going to happen, what needed to happen, what to expect to happen. If you would have checked the scout out, you would have knew exactly what we were doing right, exactly what we were doing wrong. I hope y'all listen to the scout. If not, you should go back and listen to the scout and watch the game again. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, you have to ask them, but you're right. It's awkward to ask them, but you have to ask them. Yes, you would like people not to ask them and say, hey, but media is media. Coaches got to be the coach. Yeah, you're right for feeling both ways on that one. See, that's what listen. That part, that's where the nastiness makes me, disappointed. It was a great scout. Look, I told you we were going to jump out early on them, but we don't score easy buckets, which is going to lead to a lot of lulls. I said, we're going to jump on them early, but we're not going to have the technique to last throughout an entire game. I said, be careful, because when you get a little lead, that Middlebrooks kid will get the key rebound, the key bucket to mess up your run. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about the man. One big dysfunctional family right now. Fighting amongst each other makes me sad. You and me both, Craig. BHA said in summary, there was no defensive continuity, which makes a ton of sense on how they played last night. I pointed out how big of an offensive improvement he made this year. Made sense. BHH is an individual discussion that we got to have. But first, let me hit this one up. Have a few steps on me because it's topic of fan base divided. Go Cards, wipe your feet. Listen, that's fair. I do appreciate the cheers. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. Like I said, if y'all can tolerate me and tolerate the disagreements, then you are strong individuals and you are true Cardinal fans, in my opinion. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Okay. I'm gonna go up until I need to catch my eyes a little bit. Dysfunctional. BHA should end a separate conversation. Need a rim protector. Has no interest in defense. Man, that big boy's a handful. Is that what you're talking about? Listen, I'm as hard on Brandon as anybody, but I actually thought, listen, he got his hands up in the lanes on the pick and rolls. He did better. Like, there's some stuff he should know, but he had a defensive a mindset. He wanted to stop the big boy. So I'm gonna disagree about his individual defense on this one. And again, I am harsh. Did I see Dwight at the game tonight? Who? Dwight Mitchell? Listen, they fought. They fought. Was let's see, hung in there with little support. Louisville part ways after 2 seasons. Source told the field of 68 likely to be official next 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, that could be just a good what do you call it? An educated guess. Field of 68. They hate campaign, I think. A rim protector changes the entire defense, just like shooting. Changes the entire offense. Yeah, I mean, of course. But even a rim protector has to be able to guard his man and protect the rim. He can't just hang out by the basket. River City Entertainment Group. Cheers. Yeah. Like I said, it's gotta be. He has to listen to the right people. It's the balance of him having his philosophy. His philosophy did not translate to the Louisville situation. In my opinion, his philosophy is not translating to Louisville. But here's the other thing. It's kind of crazy. If you watch the game unbiased, like I'm my ability to separate myself and watch the game like it should be, you saw a lot of things where you could tell he's telling them the right things to do, but he's not reinforcing them enough for them to be successful. You know, and I can tell the other coaches can see these things. You can see a mistake is about to happen 5 seconds before the mistake happens. You can tell. There was a play where Trey White got the rebound. Sky Clark was wide open across the court. Trey White looked him off, started dribbling up the court. Listen, if you'd have been sitting with me, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? See, there you go. Ball's going the other way. You could see that from the beginning. So that's when I talk about reinforcement. Like I said, you can tell your kids to do the right thing, but if you don't handle them the right way when they don't do the right thing, then it's kind of on the parent things. Betty Johnson, Chad, what's good? We got new life people. It's over. Betty Johnson, Chad, what's good? What's good? I guess you didn't hear my story the other day. That was pretty funny. Shout out Betty Johnson, Chad. I know y'all know that name from the radio. Oh, now that's yet to be determined. Of course, yeah. Like I said, that's an educated guess, but it might be. It might already happen. Personality wise, with this fan base, okay, Mike G, that's a thought. Oh, that's not nice. Oh, that's not nice. I'll make sure we get you out of here. I thought you were talking about the LMPD spokesman, Dwight Mitchell. Oh no. Must like my beard or something. Do it caught your attention? Dang, Cashmere, you in a rush to just jump to pick apart the KP presser? James Dixon or another retread. Just keep Kenny, give him one more year. They did 5 days, 16 turnovers back. Oh, the Tyler Johnson turnovers were the rough spot for me. Come on, y'all. We got 662 in the building. My lights should be lit up. 665 in the building. My like button should be hit. Listen, even if you hate what I'm saying, even if you're making terrible jokes, just take a second to hit the like button. The like button's free. You listen, River City Entertainment, he wanted to support the channel, but the like button is free. Come on, baby. Blame it's not your fault. And the record on how the players played and the record should take 4 years to build the program. I feel you. Ooh, had a discussion with some of my guys tonight about which of the current players we will want back. I take back everybody. I take back Trey White on probation. I like the roster. This is a good roster. This is roster is hard to fill out. It's a good roster. Good roster, a heavier hand, more of a disciplinarian style coming from my staff. Regardless of who it is, it has listen, the college game, and I'm talking about to win at the college level, it's so much more. It has to be so much more structure and attention to detail. The freestyle is not the college game. You might have one guy on your team that can freestyle. If there was structure around this team, you would be able to let Tyler freestyle. It's like having a team, with Peyton, and they're just a great example with Peyton, Luke, Trez, Gorgie. They all had real good structure. Wasn't a lot of freestyling from those guys, but you can get 1 or 2 freestyles in a Russ Smith and somebody that can go off the court, go off the game plan a little bit. Did Lauren pop somebody already? Okay. Well, then I guess we're kind of both saying the same thing, because Brandon, he looked like he took the responsibility of guarding that guy. It looked a little personal, which of course, the reason I give him a hard time is because he can't do enough right for me. Because I'm like, if he does something good, I'm like, where was that? I saw a jump step. I saw a hop step with Brandon where he protected the ball. And I was like, boy, I've been yelling about this the whole year. You waited till the tournament to do that move? I hate NC State. Yeah, Kentucky. But not the substitution pattern, but everything else would. That's why they look how they look now. You get the best of the best of the best, you can give them some space. They'll chew your ass up offensively. I don't agree, man. Zan's a good fundamental sound player. I appreciate fundamentally sound guys, because when I'm on the court and I know my teammate, he's 6'5", big body, he doesn't give up easy buckets. I trust him more than I trust people who make a bunch of mistakes on defense. I mean, who do you trust on defense? Zan Payne or Trey White? Like, let's be honest. Zan Payne's shots come from the flow of the game. Who do you trust on defense to guard their man, Zan Payne or Trey White? And I'm not like going debate mode. I'm just saying. Yeah, he is not harsh enough at all on them. Billy McNichol in the building. Y'all know what time it is when Billy McNichol shows up. 3, 2, 1. Billy McNichol, what's good? Chip from the Field 68 reporting Kenny Payne has been fired. I do believe that. I think in the press conference he was trying to get some stuff off his chest. Green Bay Denny, I feel what you're saying. Everybody, to me, every coach is going to have his qualities. Every coach is going to have his downs. And it takes a perfect mixture for a coach to be good. Weak passes not coming to the ball drives me insane myself. Lisa in the building. Driving when I got okay. When you got the notification. Fair enough. That's a good point. Listen, and this is not an argument, people. This is just listen. You can say you can say he did some things good and some things he totally missed the boat on. You can say losing the players hurt. You can all those things can be right. It doesn't have to be a political debate. Ready for spring ball myself too. Salute. For sure. And again, this is tough to say because I don't know the daily duties of Josh Jameson. I don't know the daily duties of Danny Manning. So we're just going on, I'm going on how spicy Nolan is, how quick he is with the guys, how interactive he is with the guys. I liked watching him. I know he's got good relationships on the recruiting trail. So I know Nolan's a keeper, you know what I'm saying? Or I feel strongly that Nolan's a keeper just on the staff no matter what. He's at the university no matter. I think he's an asset to the university no matter what. And I would do my best to try to keep him around. The rest of the guys I don't really know, Reese. I know Reese is over there. I know he knows ball. I wish Reese had probably a bigger voice over there. So I like having Reese over there around these kids. That's a tough one. Because now we got to go back to the discipline part of it. Because if you're in the film room, you see how much Mike James acknowledges the referee, how much he starts depending on the calls, how much he's just trying to get fouled instead of just really attacking the bucket. Now I'm not being dismissive of all Mike James qualities. I agree he plays hard. I agree he plays, physical. But some parts where I just needed the coach to say, hey, you are losing yourself in the referee battle. And that's the part I say is the coach's job. Mike James is losing. Kenny Payne helped Mike James find his niche to be able to be effective, but he lost them in the referee battle. $812 in the building. Make sure y'all take a second to hit those like buttons if you can. I do believe if Flowers, Evans, JJ, I mean, Flowers is dangerous. Flowers. Listen, if you hate KP, you better be glad Flowers are here, because that could have been dangerous. But like I said, will I say that was an automatic game changer? No. But will I say if Flowers helps you discipline Trey White, if Trent Flowers helps you bench Trey White back and forth, if Dennis Evans helps you discipline Brandon, you may have a different attitude on the sideline, on the court. Progress is visible, but just too slow. All ACC votes. Yep. Like I said, I know I give him a hard time, but he still has to be better. I never feel like something's not gonna work. Listen. This is how you know, Green Bay Denny. This is how you know I'm kind of different. I was waiting on the 2-inch. They got me in the I'm in the 93.9 group chat. Y'all want to know what everybody's saying in the group chat? Y'all want me to read the whole 93.9 group chat to you? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell you the 93.9 group chat. Look, somebody going to clip that up. Marcus was telling the work group chat last night. Listen, Green Bay Denny, I still thought 2-10 Bobby Petrino. Again, he has proved me right. Bobby Petrino is still a great coach. He was a great coach, had a terrible year. He lost his dad, but he's a great coach. I don't care what anybody's saying. And again, I rode the Louisville Bobby Petrino train, because it's like, I always think it's like, I know people don't like to hear this this phrase, but it's like a tweak. One or two players go one way or the other. One or two decisions made by a coach go one way or the other. It's a different team. I've seen it. I've lived it. I've lost 2 teams. I've gotten wiped out by teams. And I've seen the coach come in there and say, hey, you are no longer going to be able to do this, and you're going to have to start doing this. And we win the next 8-10 games. The attitude of the locker room changes. The coaches have figured it out. Those coaches, like, I've seen it. So that's why I can never say it's not going to work. I don't really think like that. Lonnie G, put your email address in the chat. Lauren, make sure you get that email address. Ooh. Is that your opinion? Like, why would you say that? Is that a report? Why don't you look? If that's your opinion, say in my opinion. Are you just in the chat jumping off the top rope, trying to elbow some negativity in here? Come on, Corito, you better than that. You're better than that. You're better than that than to just jump off the top rope with uber negativity. Well, there's one caveat. Caveat is social media. The caveat changes the former player versus current player. What do you think the current players are saying and doing in the locker room while he's out blaming them for everything? They don't think he's blaming them. You think he's blaming them. You know how eventually you realize that your parents did the best they could, and you realize like they gave you the tools to be successful. Yeah, those kids think that Kenny Payne gave us the tools to be successful, and we screwed it up. So this is a fan narrative that he's blaming other people. When a coach asks, you know why I know that's true? Because everybody in the world around my time as a player blamed Coach Crum for everything I didn't do right. You know why? Because they ran with the narrative. He's over the hill. You want him gone. This is before Rick Pitino even when we lost to Gonzaga. Oh, we didn't know Mark Few was going to go on to be a Hall of Famer. But when we were beating Jay Wright, it was still one. You know what? If I played 22 minutes a game, the fan base was saying Denny Crum got to go. I knew I screwed up. I knew the rules. I knew Coach Crum didn't like me shooting, without stepping into the shot. And if I stepped into the shot and missed it, he'd take me out. But a fan who doesn't, or I don't want to say fan, an outsider who doesn't know that rule is a rule for me. I didn't step into the shot when I caught the ball and I missed it. I'm coming out the game. A fan who wants to drive a narrative about Denny Crum is saying, oh, well, he's screwing up the team by doing. I'm not mad at Coach Crum for saying Marcus screwed up. We lost because Marcus was out there screwing up. Well, what was he doing, Coach? He was, he didn't have to say anything else. Marcus doesn't rebound. He doesn't step into the shot. And those are probably my only two. Those are probably my only two flaws in my entire game. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't step into his shot. And that's why he benched me. So when he gets in the press conference and says, listen, we need Marcus to do better. We need Marcus to do his responsibilities. That's not throwing me under the bus. He's telling the truth. The player, and I know that. I mean, yeah, I'm emotional about Coach because I got fans in my ears saying, hey, man, Coach Crumby hating on you, blah, 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 blah. But in the back of my mind, I know I screwed up. Step into the ball, hit the boards. I fucked it up. Excuse me. So, yeah, they're not feeling like Kenny Payne is throwing them under the bus. To answer your question. What's the BS about Walls? I remember that. I also remember, did you see today when that shot went up and 3 or 4 guys were boxing out and the ball bounced on the ground twice? That's like a coach's fantasy to see guys box out so hard that a ball bounces twice before anybody gets it, and nobody from North Carolina State can get it. When you see a play like that, you say, okay, there again, it's too slow. I get it. I'm fine with it. But you have to acknowledge they make that mistake on the free throw, and they're a lot better after that. Again, takes too long. But if you're gonna bash, acknowledge it. Okay. So if I replay his last 3 press conferences, and how many times did he say, I have to do better? You know what you do when Kenny Payne says, I have to do better as a coach, we got to do better as a staff. You'd be like, yeah, of course. So you don't listen to that part. But then when he says, yeah, but we also need these guys to fight harder, you say, oh, there he goes blaming so-and-so again. There he goes blaming. You can't just ignore when he says, I have to get these guys better prepared. you roll your eyes and you make a sound and you say, "Oh, he's just that's just media speak." But when he says, "I need these guys to fight harder," there you go, blaming him again. That's why I say you can be right and you can be wrong, and it's going to be in the middle. Yes, he put some of the things on the players. We've listened to his press conferences all year. Yes, he says, I got to do better preparing them. I got to do that. But if you say he never takes accountability, then that's not true what you're saying. And again, I don't have to defend him. He he'll be fine. He's a grown man. But I have to it's my job to give perspective on what's going on. I got to give you good eyeballs on what you see out here. What you see is a lot of pro style coaching, a lot of telling as opposed to teaching. And if you have a philosophy of telling instead of teaching, you have supportive assistant coaches instead of, maybe a little more, maybe standoffish, maybe a little more bolder assistant coaches, bolder selections and coaches. I mean, this is his first head coaching job. He got guys that he knew wouldn't stab him in the back, so he doesn't end up like Chris Mack and Dino Gaudio. Yeah, that's what you want. There's a lot of good assistant coaches that he could have picked up that are X's and O's coaches, but who knows, the first X's and O's coach that I pick up from some other school is trying to stab me in the back and extort me, saying I'm gonna go to the NCAA and say you had a level 3 violation. That's such a fine balance between getting coaches you trust and are not gonna, or they're just gonna back you up no matter what, and getting some coaches that gotta challenge you. It's like picking up a mate. I won't make those jokes. Again, I answered that. I didn't get back to that. Gosh darn it. They did look, and they did so much more fundamentally sound. That's what I was pissed off about the most. I'm like, if you get this effort and this kind of fundamental, listen, there's still a lot of fundamentals that piss me off. There was still a whole lot of fundamentals that pissed me off the entire game. But I saw a lot cleaned up that made me retroactively pissed off at my sideline, my basketball organization. I mean, actually, I think there's a lot of people. But again, this is Ricky P without the distractions, without the, like they were coaching a cleaner, more set up. Tom was more established. Crum just left a legacy of good, good talent, and it's like it's a little different. It's a winning program. So what did you think when Kentucky went 9-16? You can say that was COVID, but I can say, no, you played basketball games. Zags down 5 in the second half. Now, see, that's why you don't give lists. Because everybody goes and runs and look for the moles and Mark Few's pinky toenail is too long, and that's why I don't like him, Marcus. Jeez. When it sticks, we look lazy. And that's another problem. He substituted on a pro pattern. Instead of substituting on discipline, he substituted on the pro pattern. That's just not going to work. Again, if he were younger and hadn't went through the success at Kentucky and was a little more urgent. He used that word a lot talking about his players. So if there was an urgency to his substitution pattern, I think that would eliminate so many mistakes. If you throw the ball and like that half court, the half court Trey White backcourt, like I'm telling y'all, North Carolina State went straight down and scored the bucket, right? North Carolina State went straight down, scored the first bucket of the second half. I'm telling you, when they started when our team, when the Louisville Cardinals started running the handoff, I looked at the first dribble that Brandon took and the handoff, and you could tell, like if I'm coaching, I would have called the timeout and I would have said, oh, hell no, we ain't. Oh, hell no, we are not going to start our second half with a handoff like that. Because you could see the NBA jog handoff, throw out in front. It's just won't do in simplified college basketball, because when you're doing, hey y'all, we got 1,006 in the chat. Make sure my like buttons are where they need to be. 1,006 in the chat, and jump in the chat. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Come on here, jump in. Look, y'all can see tonight. I'm bringing all smoke takers. Let's bring all the smoke all night. But point being, that first play of the second half, you can go back and watch it. You can just see how calmly Brandon handed the ball off to Mike. Mike had to pass it out to Trey White. They're just not in intense body positioning. It's a good, this is what I'm talking about when you say coaching. It might be a great play call, but if y'all are not scared that if it doesn't work, somebody has to come out the game, then it's kind of like, well, it might work and it might not, and we'll get another shot. And if it doesn't work, we'll come back down and try it again. There's too much of let's try it again. Let's get to the next. Again, that's the lack of urgency that you saw. It's not lack of coaching. It's not lack of saying the right things. It's lack of urgent discipline. This game is on the line. Today, boy, did it piss me off to see Tyler starting. Let me catch my breath, y'all. $1,018 in the chat. Make sure we get them like buttons up, please. Hold on. But yeah, like I said, I do believe that, but I think it's more of a educated guess. I don't think it's like inside reporting. I think most of the players developed during the season. Like I said, I think they developed, but I think they had bad habits. This guy ended up at UK. He went there. No, I wouldn't think so. Listen, in 2024, anything's possible. Y'all know anything's possible. They might do that just to stick it to Louisville. Of course, it'd have been a better season. How much better? Again, it could be exponentially better with the ability to discipline or the willingness to discipline. Oh, well, if you don't think so, Joshua, you probably never played. Guaranteed. I guarantee he was. Listen, Robert, I got this same text. I got this same tweet. When Chris Mack lost those two late games against Boston College and Clemson, and we were like a 4 seed. You know what was happening? We were like, We were like 22-6. And we were like a 4 seed. And you know what Ethan was saying? Listen, and here's the thing. I've always defended Ethan because I've watched the game with him. And he's just an angry ass fan. To me, Ethan is just an angry ass fan. I don't hear him enough to hear the details, but I've watched the game with him. Listen, all he said that year, and it pissed me off, is all he's wait till the postseason, wait till the postseason. We'll see the late season swoon. Late season swoon was all I heard out of those guys. So there's nothing I can do to, like I said, sometimes it feels like it's a little personal. I don't know. The team and the coaching staff not urgent enough. The biggest thing is lack of urgency. Lack of urgency, and yeah, but again, it's already been rumored that he's accepted the buyout. He did push somebody. Lack of identity, but a transferable philosophy. I would say that he got a philosophy, he got an identity, but it don't transfer well with this group. With this group of talent. Small things are true. I agree with that. He doesn't play long enough to be out of shape. He's big. Okay. So did the big boy for North Carolina State look out of shape? You can play a few minutes of basketball. Zan don't play all day. He didn't play extended minutes. Zan can play his 6'12". I watched the 6'7", 290-pound player play minutes. Yeah, did he look out of shape? That's funny. Who in particular? Hold on, I don't understand this question. You mean just basic recruiting? I mean, yeah, no. Yeah, because here's the thing. If you carry that same attitude, if you that means you got to kill the next coach. If he doesn't dominate the first year, you're gonna have to crush him. So yes, there is room for mistakes for any new coach coming in while he's assimilating his team, assimilating the environment, assimilating the pressure, all those good things. Yeah, the substitution pattern early in the year bothered me early. Elliot, we're also out of 365 teams. We were also 360 in experience and minutes played. Does that factor into you? Again, you're right, but the real right is somewhere in the middle. There are good and bad. You don't have to argue an extreme to get a point across. Okay, you know what we were saying? If you go back and look at Twitter and Facebook and listen to my calls on the radio show, when Kenny Payne got the job, they were saying, where's all these recruits? Because remember, he got Brandon and Sky first. And it was, what else are we going to do with the roster? What else? Then he landed. Remember when he didn't get what's your boy that went to Eastern Michigan? Or he refused to get him? By the end of his recruiting period, we literally had the number 2 center in the class decommitted. Listen, don't you think NBA Africa, Emmanuel Okorafor had some talent to work with? Dennis Evans, Trenton Flowers, Emmanuel Okorafor, the number one point guard in the state of New York, the number one shooting guard or forward in the state of Michigan. Karan Davis, y'all thought he sucked right until he got kicked off the team. Then he was a heaven sent. Again, I'm not debating you. I'm giving you perspective from my point of dealing with thousands and thousands and thousands of fans on a daily basis. I got bombarded with what Kenny Payne is doing. But at the end of the day, when you look at that roster, the roster we had, don't make an argument like Kenny Payne can't put together a roster. Because the roster is all right. Trey White, Sky, Dennis, Brandon, Tyler, Curtis, Caleb, Danilo, Zan, Scrappy. I mean, listen, if he'd had one more guy, you would have been like, if he lose one game, if he would have started off this year with Mbako, Sky, Brandon, Tyler, Trey, Manny, Caleb, Curtis, you would have been chanting 40-0. No. Listen, Craig, the reason I don't think so is because you remember when we did the interview? You remember we did the interview where we brought Trenton Flowers into the studio? You got to think. Like, don't forget about this. When Trenton Flowers got here, he came here, he worked out, and he was headed to the USA thing. He was going to the USA right off bat, right? He was going to the USA thing right off bat. What was the next thing he did when he got back? He was putting together a backpack school drive. He already had a Trenton Flowers foundation. He already had a Trenton Flowers was it fan club Twitter account? Like, you remember all those things? That means when you count up all those things, that means he was already a business. So he made a business decision. I understand you want to put that on Kenny Payne too, but I'm telling you, he comes in here. His dad comes in here. He brought his own cameraman in here. He had his own Instagram edited reels. By the time he left the interview, is that not a business? Trenton Flowers fan club account, Trenton Flowers Foundation, free backpack giveaway, USA team. Dad comes into the interview with the thing. Dude, he did, look, everything was a business already. No, it had nothing to do with what was going on in there. He's already a foundation. He was already his personal foundation. But I know that doesn't fit the narrative. Like, I feel you. Like I said, listen. If you believe the reports, it's okay to say Kenny Payne's gone. But let's make sure we separate the truth from narrative. I think he'd have been a tighter defender. Definitely helped in transition. Some other rotations are real slow. I don't know if they're slower than Trey, though. Like I said, it's not is expected. Thank you, Lisa O. Thank you. Like I said, I'm not saying none of it's not true. I'm just saying it's easy. It's an easy double down. It's an easy risk to say it's going to happen in the next 48 hours. Shout out to Cat West, even though I never went. Anybody who knows about Cat West maybe messing with you. That's not true. They played hard. That is not true. Listen, Say did a bad job, but those players were playing hard. That's what frustrated me. If they're playing hard, but they're playing wrong, that's still a criticism. But don't say they lost interest. They were going hard. They were trying to do what they were supposed to do. Oh my God, don't start that, please. Oh, please. King Don, why you change your name? I didn't see that either. Yeah, look, Jeff Walls is, listen, I don't blame any coach for leaking anything to get their money up. I do believe in capitalism. I'm here for the energy. Pull up Shorty in the building. What's good? Bellarmine coach needs a call. Listen, I would never go against Scott Davenport. My God. You don't have to be nasty, Jason. We're having good conversation. You don't have to just come in off the top rope, snarky. Yeah, but here's the thing. What's gonna happen when Kenny Payne ends up back on the sideline in Kentucky? Name recognition, land a job. He really just needs the relationship with Josh Hurd. I mean, there's some elements to that too. We hate is crazy. Doc Rivers to the Ville. He gets every other job. Hold on, catching up. Shout out to Sky. He balled out tonight. Listen, Sky Clark has, again, some of his games haven't been great, but he's been locked in for a long part of the season. I will not do that. I will not give people keys. I wish I could. I would give people all the ideal coaches, but I'm telling you, between all these new pop-up podcasts and the text line and the rummage and the message boards, everybody dying to pick apart anybody I mentioned. I would be doing a disservice if I knew the coach that they were getting. And listen, I promise you, if I knew the coach that they were getting right this second, I would have to not tell you to protect the coach, because all the people that want to compete against me will start tearing down that coach before he even gets to campus. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Listen, between new pop-up podcasts or people at the, people at the job, everybody work a job where somebody be hating. Know what I'm talking about. Everybody know the job where somebody hate. 11:07 in the building. Somebody take a second and hit the like button. And y'all might as well let me reload if y'all want to go hard. If y'all want to hear Maven Unfiltered. Maven Unfiltered starts in about 90 seconds, okay? Maybe an unfiltered is a short session, but it starts in about 90 seconds. So sit tight. Maybe an unfiltered starting soon. I'm assuming I had it muted. I'm assuming I had that muted. Nathan, I guess I got to give you a second one because you didn't get your proper cheers. Nathan, thank you for supporting the channel. I enjoy providing a good, positive, safe space for all Louisville fans where you can vent, but just not be nasty. Lauren keeps the nastiness out of the Midnight Family chat, but we can get a little bitey. Nathan, thank you for supporting the channel. Cheers. That back-to-back was pretty tough. I don't know. I will say this, though. Watching that first half, I did see some people pucker up a little bit. That was pretty funny. Y'all know I probably would have been just irritatingly funny if he had stole that game. Never know. Walls love work. You never know. You never know. I keep BHH, Tyler. Listen, this BHH, I've been mad at him 92% of the year. That guy that I saw out there looked like he wanted to play some basketball. Yeah, but you know who else blamed the fans? Charlie Strong. Did you want Charlie Strong fired because he blamed the fans? Do you remember when Charlie Strong was talking about how we don't have a home field advantage like other SEC schools? Do you remember that? Was that grounds to fire Charlie Strong? You know what we said? He's challenging the fans. Maybe Kenny Payne is challenging the fans to support the next coach, but he didn't know he didn't have to worry about that. He ain't gonna have to worry about that. I fuck with Painter 100%. Look, me and Steve are arguing behind the scenes about Painter, and I'm proud of Steve for saying he doesn't have a good he doesn't have a good argument other than he just don't like Painter. No. Let me rephrase that. He's not saying he doesn't like Painter. He's just saying he doesn't get excited as he does with some of the other big name coaches. Sorry, Steve. I'll make sure I quote you the right way. Oh, hey, listen. Imagine being me, Don. Listen, I get it. I got no problem with that. And here's the thing. If I was on Josh Hurd's counsel, I would say, yes, it does take time, but no, the product should be better by now. Repeat. If I was on his 8-team selection decision-making committee, I would tell him it does take time to get where the fans want us to be. But this is definitely behind schedule. So, you know, like I said, I can find truth on both sides. I can fire on both sides. I can hire on both sides. I can extend on both sides. Again, I wasn't firing Bobby Petrino. He was 2-10. Yeah. That's good for media. Divisiveness is great for media. Outrage is great for media. I mean, Tom's one of the best ever, though. Like, that's unfair comparing him to Tom Church. Yeah, I just don't want you to ignore that part. That's all. Oh, but again, that turned into politics. We got 1134 in the building. Please take a second to hit the like button. Don't just watch from the trees. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Jump in here. We get Papa John's back in the fold. Shit, Adidas blew that out the water. Hard shoes to fill. Tom got me to join the student. Listen, I hate meetings. I hate office meetings. I do them because I understand they're important. Tom got me to join the Student Athletic Advisory Board. Do y'all realize I was a senior and I had shit to do? And I put things aside because Tom Jurich wanted me to be on a board that got the athletes to support the other athletes, the mainstream athletes to support the non-revenue or Olympic sports. That was when he made his first push for Title IX. That's why the University of Louisville became the #1 school in Title IX advancement and stuff like that. So yeah, I was a part of the Tom Jurich Foundation. I'll give KP credit with BHH. But even now, I still want to get mad because I'm like, you gave him, damn, with all the minutes. Listen, BHH in 2 years should finish as the highest scoring 2-year player in Louisville history with the minutes he gets. Yeah, people don't want to hear that. Hold on. Get this one. Hold on. The shakaroni didn't help. Oh, then there's that. But Anthony, I could make a case against myself and say we won 12 games the year before Kenny Payne got here. We won 12 games. We had like 5 seniors. I could make that case too. That, you know, listen, we had your boy from Marshall. We had Mason. We had other upperclassmen. We had some elder statesmen. No, I'm not excusing that. I'm not excusing that. Don't put that. Don't put that I'm excusing it, because I'm not. And the no recruits. You were saying the same thing last year. He didn't have recruits. He didn't worry about recruits. You when you get Dennis Evans to get out of his scholarship, when you go to NBA Africa, you got dudes. Did he at the very least say that between Nolan, Danny, Kenny Payne, and Josh Jameson, he showed you that he could get dudes? We weren't even eligible to play in the tournament, and he got a roster. I mean, how can you doubt a guy who went and got the number one point guard in New York, the number one two guard? You think he fucking just forgot how to get a player to college? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, I'm pissed at him too, but don't do that. Give the respect to the staff. Listen, say their X's and O's were shit. Okay? That's fine. Kenny Payne's X's and O's, I feel like, are shit. That's fine, whatever. His philosophy on this and defense and switching and zones is shit. Okay, but don't say his recruiting wasn't on point. Just because you don't know who he has coming, that doesn't mean he has zero recruits. You just don't know. And he told you when he first got here. He's like, I move in silence with my recruiting. I like it that way. I love it that way. And you're saying because I don't know who he's getting here, then he doesn't have any recruits. Because recruiting expert X doesn't know who Kenny Payne is bringing. He doesn't have any recruit. Like, that's like, don't do that. Don't do that. He knows. Are you telling me he's been recruiting and they got this squad of guys and he doesn't know how to recruit a kid? You think he just lost the ability to bring a kid to Louisville? That part's not true. Don't do that. Please don't do that. No recruits for next year. Promising 5 stars that never show. Oh, I'm sorry. We got a 5-star in Sky, but they convinced you that he wasn't a 5-star. We got a Tyler Johnson, who's the number 1 point guard in New York. Curtis Williams, who's the number 1 player in New York. 4 stars and 5 stars. Dennis Evans, 5-star transfer. Trent Flowers. He came here already being a brand and got an opportunity to pull what other NBA players have already done and went and that's a narrative. That's a narrative. Don't push the narrative. And again, I'm not debating you. I'm just adding perspective. And listen, cuss them out for saying you shouldn't have kept all those guys your first year. Cuss them out for saying you shouldn't have got a whole new squad your first year. Maybe you would have been better. Maybe you would have bought yourself some more time if you did more than 4 or 5 games. Hold on. Everybody has to forgive me. I'm scrolling up. I didn't realize how far I was behind. No sound. Catching up. Shouldn't say the talent that didn't mesh. Listen, I talked about last night. I played on teams that I wouldn't change with any other team in the conference, but we didn't win the conference. I knew we had better talent as a whole. I knew there was coach didn't discipline this kid enough. I knew coach disciplined this kid too much. Coach was trying to discipline this kid to get that kid's attention. That kid had more potential and he knew it, so he played crappy. Like, all that stuff is obvious. You got to get a perfect mixture, or an experienced coach, or a coach who has a good combination and philosophy to win. At least admit that he deserves a little slack on recruiting. So look, Tanner, are you taking a shot at Mac? So are Chris Mack's recruiting classes unacceptable? Then there's that. Look, the same reason. That's good. That's funny. That's funny. The same reason Kenny Payne is quiet on recruiting is the same reason we don't know about coaches. And like, who has really confirmed? People say what they believe, but has there been a confirmed meeting between Josh Hurd and Scott Drew? Or is it repeated so much that we just believe it at this point? Listen, point is, everybody in here can be right to an extent, but you have to acknowledge the other argument. If you're right and say, hey, he's not doing a good job, don't say he didn't do anything. He did some good things. He did some bad things. If you feel like it's not enough to maintain the head coaching position here, cool. But just the extreme, like, that's just Democrat and Republican, the basketball argument. You just black and white in it. That's where the super divisive comes in at. But listen, I enjoy my cocktail. I'm about to fly my drone. I'm gonna see y'all in the morning. Steve will be pissed at me if I don't show up tomorrow. So it is what it is. I gotta go.